What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today, well, we're going to be jumping not into this week's events because we've pretty much done everything we're going to. Of course, there's, like more dice to do every single day. Eventually, that might end up in a key, all that fun stuff. Of course, there's some pretty good resources if you need monster materials in the Beach Paradise. But besides the Reverie gift box, which we are essentially done with, there's really not much else for us to do. So what we're gonna finally do is go into the Primal Grimoire and start doing some stuff. Now, we've already, of course, leveled this up to level 92. We're getting a ridiculous amount of stats to only enabled heroes. In case you guys, again, I talked about this previously, but if you guys didn't realize, if you take a look just at like your hero list, you'll notice the attack value on anything that is not an enabled 5-star is going to have this amount of attack on our account. And then the second you go up to an E5, even though they're the same exact level investment, you gain those extra, essentially 20 million attacks. So that's the big difference with this Grimoire. It has to be a fully enabled hero, but once they qualify, pretty dang good. And of course, as you get more heroes, this does go up further and further. So there are going to be some other things we talk about in the future, such as the enabling infusion, but because we don't quite have that yet, we're getting very, very close. We'll get to that when we get to it. What we're going to do today is the sigils. Now, you'll notice there are these slots to put sigils in here, and there's a lot of different game modes that these sigils are going to be buffing. You can see right here, we have 4 out of these 6 slots completely unlocked. However, we've got nothing to put it in just yet. We do have this Grimoire Essence, which is for upgrading the Grimoire, but in order to get these items, you need to go to the Tome of Destiny. Now, this is the first time we're actually going to go in here. I'm going to take a screenshot just to make sure I do have it. Wait, hold on. I got to time this. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it didn't work. I was trying to get into the triangle. Was at the top. Let's give it one more shot. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it was close, whatever. But you can see here, through this event, we now have a bunch of Page of Destiny. This is the first time we've really been able to acquire these. Now, you can, of course, get them through precious page packages. A bunch of them you can get simply for gems. So if there's something you want to do, get the gem ones. I don't necessarily know if we're going to spend. I probably should have just bought like 50 of them instead of buying other stuff this week. Kind of forgot about it, but you can see there's a way to switch tomes behind, well, I guess it's behind my face. You can't do that until you do the current tome 50 attempts, and you can see that there's different qualities essentially lining up with things like awakenings, star spawn awakenings, all those different things. Chances are you're gonna get blue ones, a super low chance of green, and I think on this tome you literally can't get a red one. I think you have to go past it. So let's go ahead, let's get our first 50 draws done here and show you guys what this is all about here, so you can see how this turns out. Now, I think these are blue, these are yellow, and this is purple. So I think this is like all E tiers. We got, I think these are yellow, right? Yeah, so yellow is gonna be like the D tier, and then I think what we got here is one purple based on the outer glow. It's very faint and honestly hard to tell, but it seems like we got it. So you can go ahead and you can actually click on each one of these to see what it does. So these are going to be sigils that power up certain game modes. And you'll notice by the icon here, these are going to be very similar. However, the stats can be different. This is fixed HP and attack. And then you can see the values just slightly different here. More fixed HP and attack. You get a lot of those. You have this one over here. That's the Aspen Dungeon getting stat boost. You can see over here we have the Void Campaign, which is pretty much probably the one a lot of people are going to go for. You can see a better version of Aspen Dungeon. And then you see here, yep, we did get one purple. Lots of stats, and you're also going to get a secondary bonus. So this is for Tower of Dream Oblivion, which sadly isn't really necessary, but that is essentially what this looks like. So if we go through and we do our drawings here, this time we hit one purple over here. Again, Tower of Dream Oblivion, not what I want. We got a couple more yellow, aka I guess we'll call them D tiers here. Nothing. Oh wait, we did get a purple up here too. The way that they put these auras, kind of hard to tell. I guess you just have to look for the ring around it and see the ring's color. Essentially what we want to see is we want to see something green pop up here. So I need to grab a screenshot of that too, because that looks amazing. What I really want to see is a campaign purple one to invest in, because again, they have different secondary roles once you get up to the purple status here. See here as well, we got different stats going on, so not too bad. Let's keep going. We get another pull right here. This time we got 3E. Looks like we got 3D, 2 C tier, so to speak, 2 purple. Crit damage on this one, skill damage. Oh, that's a lot of skill damage. So there's that. We're gonna confirm. Let's do one more because this is the last one on the Tome of Enlightenment. I don't know if it necessarily changes or anything. Oh, here's one right here. We got a campaign one giving a little bit of extra damage reduction, all damage reduction. This one giving us skill damage. You can see the stat rolls are different. 9.3, 1049, 1049, 9.3. Actually, those are identical numbers. Never mind. They're literally identical. That's interesting, except skill damage versus all damage reduction here. So you will notice here that we now unlock the campaign, Void campaign. This is where it's going to let you pick the ones you want to focus on. There's everything: Sword Edge Arena, Star Arena, Interdimensional Arena. Like, there's literally everything you'd want. So this is kind of cool because, in my opinion, Sealand is a cool one, and you can change this to be the Sealand Tome. You can change it to be the campaign Tome. You can change it to whatever you want it to be. And I guess if you want, oh my gosh, that's annoying. If you want to get rid of all the red dots, you have to go through and pick each one. Oh, that is a tease right there. That is kind of annoying. So this is kind of like doing Soul Awakenings, but picking the exact game mode that you want the bonuses in. And that's interesting. So we're most likely going to do more campaign ones. I'm going to put a pause on this right here since we got the first 50 done. And you can see right here, so I guess you have to level this up. And once you level it up, you have higher chances. So right now, again, it looks like right now, currently, there's no chance of getting red. There's still no chance of getting red. However, the green does get an increase as you go further. So that right there is interesting. Now, if we come back into the Grimoire now and we come on over to the chapters here and we go to Soul Sigils, we can now place the items that we get. And you can filter it, like I said, by the game mode you care about. So you can see here, we got a bunch of these. So if I want to throw, say, this one, what we're going to do is we're going to inlay this right here. You can also upgrade these by consuming them as EXP. So you can do this here. You can see, you can do like quick select, and then you consume them. That's going to give you levels to increase the overall stat. So I don't think I'm going to do that just yet. And I'm wondering, can these stack? Actually, no. Okay, so you can only pick one of each, which is kind of interesting to see here. You don't have to worry about, like, I like that, because then you can go ahead and just pick like the best one of all the ones. So you can see we got things like damage reduction 0.5, control immunity offset. The Aspen Dungeon will be one in the future I want to use. Currently, it's not really a game mode we care about. And you can see there's only the 3 options when it comes to the base version. They want to get you the 3 main game modes in the game for advancement. 1, of course, being Aspen Dungeon. 2 being Tower of Oblivion and Dream. And then 3 being Campaign. So upgrading these and putting them into different slots will matter. And I guess if you want to have this be a little bit more flexible for multiple game modes, when you do come to this situation, you might want to draw on some of these other ones that you don't necessarily have yet. You might want to do a 10 pull for Sealand. And I'm going to do one 10 pull, I think, right now to show you guys what it's like. It says disassemble sigils of yellow or lower qualities. I'm guessing that turns that into dust. But let's do a 10 pull here. So when we do Sealand, they're all going to be Sealand. We did hit a couple purples here. Dot damage received, crit damage reduction, control immunity, all that. And then we can go to the Grimoire and we can come on over here and we can now attach a new one that we have that we actually want, like Sealand. So I want control immunity. So we're going to inlay that, and you can go about it and try to get, like, you know, a C tier purple of all the different game modes that you care about, and then not have to worry about anything else. So, like, technically doing 10 in a row, probably not that important. You can see it levels up the specific one. So you can see right there, we got 50 points right there for doing this. And I'm guessing there's a certain point per each, or maybe it's just a flat 5 points per. So focusing on this is important. I think everybody should probably just stick with the Void campaign / campaign, because that is where you get all of your progression. Void Horde, Void Vortex might be one you want to go for, but that experience is probably going to be something very important. So doing a 10 pull in that might have ended up being negative, but if you really want to advance your power and get the better red tiers, that's where you're going to want to focus on the level. So that is the Tome of Destiny. We'll probably do more later. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything out of this system because, of course, as players draw sigils, the EXP of the corresponding pool will be accumulated, and when you have enough, the pool level is upgraded. The higher level, the higher the chance of getting better sigils. So really want to get to those really high ones for a campaign because honestly, it's one of the most fun game modes. I might do a couple pulls, and I mean like a couple, not a 10 pull like I did in Sealand, but like single pulls in a couple different game modes. Like Star Expedition is probably going to be one you guys care about because it won't work for like anything going on currently. It's snapshots, although Star Expedition should be done by now, yeah. So you might want to do one just to unlock it and get it going. If you care about PvP game modes, sure. If you care about the Aurora Sanctuary, that could be another one you want to focus on. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. This is the intro and info about the Tome of Destiny. I'll see you guys next time.